Stop everything you are doing right now. Seriously, put down your phone, pause whatever you are watching, and listen to this. Because in just a few days, two of the greatest football nations on earth are going to walk out onto that pitch, look each other in the eye, and fight for the most important trophy in the entire sport. Spain versus Argentina, the 2026 FIFA World Cup final. And if you think you already know how this is going to go, I promise you, you do not. Because this one has every ingredient for something truly unforgettable.
We are talking about a match that has been building since the very first whistle of this tournament. A clash between a Spain side that plays football like it is art and an Argentina team that plays football like it is war. Beautiful, passionate, tactical, emotional war. And somewhere in the middle of all of that, there is a World Cup trophy waiting for whoever wants it more.
Today on Mr. English Podcast, we are going deeper into this final than any preview you have read or watched anywhere else. We're talking tactics, history, key matchups, mental pressure, predictions, the whole picture. So, whether you are a lifelong football obsessive or just someone who wants to understand what all the noise is about, you are in exactly the right place.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Emma.
And I'm James. And this is Mr. English Podcast, where we help you speak English naturally, confidently, and with real topics that actually matter. Today, that topic is the biggest match of the year, possibly the biggest match of the decade.
Before we dive in, if you're new here, please hit subscribe right now. We release new episodes regularly, and every single one is made to help you grow your English in a real, natural way. And if you have a friend who is learning English or loves football, share this episode with them today. One share makes a huge difference.
All right, Emma, let us get into it, because honestly, I've been thinking about this final all week, and I cannot decide whether I'm more excited or more nervous.
I've been thinking about it all week too, and I keep changing my opinion about who's going to win. Every time I think I've made up my mind, I remember something about the other team and I change it again.
That's the sign of a genuinely great final, when you genuinely cannot call it with confidence. And I think that's exactly where we are with Spain versus Argentina.
Let's start from the beginning, because to really understand this final, you need to understand how both teams got here. The road to the final tells you so much about a team's character.
Absolutely. Let's start with Spain. Talk us through their journey, Emma.
So, Spain entered this tournament ranked among the top favorites, but I think even their most passionate supporters would admit that the early rounds had some nervy moments. Spain came through their group in excellent form. They were organized, they were dominant in possession, they controlled games beautifully. Their attacking football in the group stage was a genuine joy to watch.
That midfield was purring from day one.
Completely. But the knockout rounds were where things got really interesting. Spain faced a very well-organized side in the round of 16, a team that sat deep, defended in numbers, and made Spain work incredibly hard for every single chance.
Then Spain found a way through, not always with style, but with patience, intelligence, and moments of individual brilliance.
The quarterfinal was where I think Spain really announced themselves as genuine title contenders. They faced a team that pressed them high, tried to disrupt their rhythm early, and for about 15 minutes, it looked like it might be a problem.
And Spain just absorbed it. They stayed calm, they kept the ball, they waited for the moment to open up, and when it did, they were clinical. That's a hallmark of this Spain team. They don't panic under pressure. They've seen it all before.
And then the semifinal, which for my money was one of the best matches of the entire tournament. Spain against a team that pushed them all the way to extra time. I was watching that on my sofa, and my heart was absolutely racing.
I'm same. I had my hands over my face for most of the second half. But Spain found a way. A moment of quality from one of their key players in extra time, and they were through. And the way the squad celebrated after, that togetherness was really visible.
That's the Spain story in this tournament. Technically brilliant, tactically disciplined, but also mentally resilient in a way that maybe we hadn't fully seen before. They've grown throughout this competition.
Now, let's talk about Argentina, because their journey has been completely different in flavor. Oh, completely different. If Spain's journey has been a carefully composed symphony, Argentina's journey has been more like a rock concert, loud, emotional, unpredictable, and absolutely electrifying.
That's a perfect comparison. Argentina started this tournament with that familiar weight on their shoulders. They're the defending World Cup champions. The pressure of defending that title, combined with the Messi factor, means every single match they play is the center of the world.
And they felt that pressure early. There was a match in the group stage where Argentina struggled, where things looked disjointed, where the opposition created more than you would want as an Argentina fan, and there were genuine questions being asked.
But they came through, and then the knockout rounds saw a completely different Argentina. More focused, more aggressive, more of that classic South American intensity that makes watching them so compelling.
Their round of 16 win was comfortable enough, but the quarterfinal was a monster, a tight, tense, physical contest against a side that matched them intensity for intensity. And Messi, at a moment when the match felt like it was slipping away, stepped forward and produced something extraordinary.
Of course he did, because that's what he does. And I think that moment reminded everyone why Argentina are here, why they are dangerous, why you absolutely cannot count them out at any stage of any game.
Their semifinal win was built more on defensive solidity and tactical discipline than free-flowing attack. They absorbed pressure, they hit on the counter, they were ruthless when the chance came. It was pragmatic, it was effective, and it showed that this Argentina team has layers.
They're not just about Messi. They never were. But having Messi means that on any given moment, the match can change completely. And that's a unique kind of threat that Spain will have to manage carefully.
All right, let us shift to team strengths and actually compare these two squads head-to-head, area by area. Let us start with attack.
Spain's attack in this tournament has been a collective effort rather than depending on one individual. They have had different players contribute goals across different matches. Their attacking movement is beautiful. The interchanging of positions, the third-man runs, the way they create space by moving defenders around. It is intelligent attacking football.
And it makes them difficult to defend against because you cannot simply mark one man and neutralize the threat. The danger can come from multiple angles, multiple players.
Argentina's attack, by contrast, is absolutely anchored around Messi, but supported by genuine quality. The partnerships they have built around him, the movement of players around him, the willingness to give him space and time to operate, it all creates a devastating attacking unit when it clicks.
In terms of raw, individual attacking quality, Argentina have the edge when Messi is on form. But in terms of collective attacking fluidity and variety, Spain might just have the advantage.
Midfield is where I think Spain have a genuine edge. And I say this as someone who respects Argentina's midfield enormously.
Talk about it.
Spain's midfield in this tournament has been exceptional. The combination of creativity, work rate, defensive contribution, and technical quality has been outstanding. They dominate possession in a way that very few international teams can match. The ability to control the tempo of a match, to slow it down or speed it up depending on what is needed, is a real weapon.
And they do it without it ever looking labored. It looks natural, effortless almost, which obviously it is not, but the quality is so high that it appears that way.
Argentina's midfield works incredibly hard. They're aggressive, they press, they compete for every ball. But in terms of technical possession play and tempo control, Spain have the edge in this department.
Defense. This is interesting because both teams have shown real defensive solidity in this tournament, but in very different ways.
Spain defend from the front. Their pressing, their organization when out of possession, the way they prevent the opposition from ever really settling. It is a collective defensive effort.
And Argentina defend with a mixture of individual quality and tactical organization. They have defenders who can handle physical strikers and defenders who can step out and match a technical opponent. And their goalkeeper has been outstanding in this tournament.
Goalkeeper. Let us talk about that. Both goalkeepers have had moments in this tournament where they have been genuinely decisive. Spain's goalkeeper has commanded their box, made important saves, and distributed the ball cleanly to support their build-up play from the back.
Argentina's goalkeeper has been arguably one of the players of the tournament. Some of the saves made in the knockout rounds have been world-class. Reaction saves, one-on-one situations, crucial moments. The confidence that gives the whole team is immeasurable.
So in goal, I would say this is genuinely even. Both excellent, both capable of winning their team a World Cup final.
Bench strength and squad depth. This is often overlooked, but it matters enormously in a final that might go to extra time or penalties.
Spain have used their squad well throughout the tournament. Players who came off the bench have contributed goals and decisive moments. The depth of quality they carry is impressive. Nobody in that squad looks out of place at this level.
Similarly, Argentina have players available from the bench who can change a match. The experience across the squad, players who have been in major finals, players who have won trophies, that experience counts when the match is tight and the clock is running down.
I think in terms of raw squad depth, Spain might have a slight advantage, but Argentina have more experience at the highest pressure moments, and sometimes that experience is worth more than depth.
All right, let us get into tactics because this is where I think the match will really be decided. How each team sets up and how they adapt during the game.
Spain, talk me through what you expect from them tactically.
Spain, under their current setup, have been operating in a very fluid, possession-based system. On paper, it often looks like a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1, but in practice, it becomes much more complex. The fullbacks push high to create width, the wingers cut inside, the number 8 midfielders make late runs into attacking areas.
So the shape changes constantly based on where the ball is.
Exactly. They morph. When they have the ball, which is most of the time, they stretch the pitch wide, create space in the central areas, and look to play quick combinations through the lines. When they do not have the ball, they press immediately to win it back high up the pitch.
High press, that's a key element. They want to win the ball back as quickly as possible, as high up the pitch as possible, so they can attack immediately with the opposition defense out of position.
And that creates danger in itself, because winning the ball high means you're already close to goal.
Now, the interesting question for Argentina is, do you try to play through that press, or do you go direct and try to bypass it?
That's the tactical puzzle Argentina's coaching staff will have been working on all week. Because if Argentina try to play short out of the back against Spain's press, there's a risk of being caught in dangerous areas. But if they go too long too quickly, they might surrender possession and allow Spain to dominate.
Argentina's likely approach. Talk me through that.
Argentina have shown real tactical flexibility in this tournament. They haven't always played the same way. In some matches, they've been more expansive, in others more compact and counterattacking. I think against Spain, the temptation will be to sit a little deeper, absorb the pressure, reduce the space in behind for Spain's runners, and hit Spain on the counterattack with pace and with Messi's ability to find pockets of space in transition.
The counterattack. That's where Argentina can be absolutely lethal. Because you give Messi space on the counter and something extraordinary almost inevitably happens.
And Spain's fullbacks, who push very high when attacking, can leave space in behind if Argentina transition quickly. That will be a key area of vulnerability that Argentina will target.
Set pieces. This is something I want to make sure we talk about because in knockout football, set pieces win matches.
Both teams have scored from set pieces in this tournament. Spain have varied delivery, intelligent movement, and players who are threats in the air at corners and free kicks. Argentina have shown real organization on set pieces at both ends. Their defensive structure from set pieces has been very solid.
A set-piece goal in a tight final could completely change the dynamic. If Spain score from a corner in the first half, Argentina have to open up. If Argentina score from a free kick, Spain have to chase the game. These moments matter.
Transition play, the moments between defending and attacking. This is another area where I think the match will be fascinating. Spain want possession. When they win it, the transition from defense to attack is fast and precise. When they lose it, the counter-press kicks in immediately.
Argentina want to catch Spain in those moments of transition. When Spain are forward and the ball is lost, Argentina want to move fast. Messi in those transition moments is devastating. He sees the space before anyone else does.
And Spain's coaching staff will have spent hours working on how to prevent that, how to protect the space in behind, how to ensure there is always cover when they commit players forward.
Let us move on to key players, because no discussion of this final is complete without talking about the individuals who could make the difference.
Let us start with the one name that everyone is talking about, Messi. And I want to be thoughtful about this because I think it is easy to just say Messi is Messi and leave it at that. But let us actually talk about what he brings to this final.
Messi in this tournament has been extraordinary. His statistics, his goal contributions, his moments of individual brilliance in knockout matches. But beyond the numbers, what he brings is something harder to quantify: a presence, a belief. When Messi is on the pitch, Argentina believe they can win, and that collective belief becomes a tactical tool in itself.
His movement is what makes him so difficult to defend against. He drops deep, he receives the ball in spaces between the lines, he turns quickly, he plays the final pass, or he drives forward himself. You can never really mark him out of a game without sacrificing something else.
And his free kicks. In this tournament, his deliveries from set-piece situations have been dangerous. He is a genuine threat from dead ball situations. Spain's wall and goalkeeper will have to be completely organized whenever Argentina win a free kick in a dangerous area.
His weakness, if you can call it that, is that he does not press the way he once did. He's selective about when he presses. Spain could look to exploit that by playing through his channel and making Argentina's midfield do extra work.
Spain's standout performer in this tournament. Who is leading the conversation for you?
The midfield engine, the player who has been at the heart of everything Spain do. The energy, the passing range, the ability to be involved in almost every attacking sequence. Spain have had a central midfielder who has been absolutely magnificent throughout, controlling tempo, breaking up opposition attacks, and driving forward at exactly the right moments.
That quality in midfield is what allows everything else Spain do to function. Without that control and energy in the middle, Spain's game plan starts to break down. Argentina will target that player. They will try to stop him getting on the ball early, try to disrupt Spain's rhythm at the source.
Spain's attacking players have also been outstanding. The ability to drift into space, the combination play, the direct running, these are players who can beat their marker individually or contribute to collective movements. In a final with this much at stake, having players who can create something from nothing is invaluable.
Argentina's attacking support around Messi deserves real attention. There are players in this squad who have genuinely developed across this tournament. Faster, more direct, more willing to take opponents on. The interplay between Messi and his attacking partners has created so many chances throughout this competition.
And that combination play is difficult to prepare for because it requires real timing and understanding. You can watch it on video for a week and still not quite be ready for it when you are standing on the pitch against it.
Let us talk about the coaches, because in a match this close, in a final this tight, the manager's decisions could be the difference between lifting the trophy and watching the other team celebrate.
Spain's coach has been exceptional in this tournament. The tactical adaptability has been impressive, the ability to change the game plan when needed, to make substitutions at the right moment, to read a match as it unfolds and respond intelligently. These are qualities that define great tournament managers.
And the key word is adaptability. Spain have shown that they can win different types of matches. They can win by controlling possession. They can win tight, low-scoring encounters. They can win in extra time. That flexibility is a product of good coaching.
Argentina's coach has managed the weight of expectation brilliantly throughout, managing a squad where the world's attention is always on one player, ensuring that the team functions as a collective rather than just a support act. That is genuinely challenging, and it has been done well.
The tactical decisions in the knockout rounds, the changes made when matches needed something different, the game management in tense moments, these things do not happen by accident. They are a product of clear thinking under enormous pressure.
In the final, the coaching battle will be fascinating. Who adapts first when the game doesn't go to plan? Who makes the right substitution at the right moment? Who finds the tactical adjustment that changes the match?
These decisions, made in real time under the most intense scrutiny imaginable, are what separate winning coaches from good coaches.
All right, let us talk about the specific matchups within the match, the battles within the battle that could decide the outcome.
The midfield battle. This is the one I keep coming back to. If Spain win the midfield battle, if they dominate possession and control the tempo, they will be very difficult to beat. If Argentina can disrupt Spain's midfield, press them aggressively, stop them from playing their usual rhythm, then Argentina create the space for counterattacks.
The center of the pitch is where this match will be fought and potentially won. Argentina's midfield will need to be at their absolute best. Their pressing intensity, their ability to win second balls, their discipline to maintain shape when Spain have the ball. It will be exhausting work, and it needs to be sustained for 90 minutes or more.
The battle on the wings. Spain like to use their fullbacks aggressively to create overloads on the flanks. Argentina will need their wide defenders to manage those situations carefully. Do they push up to meet Spain's fullbacks, or do they hold their shape and accept that Spain will have some joy in wide areas?
If Argentina's wide defenders push up, it creates space in behind for Spain's wingers to run into. If they hold deep, Spain have time and space to deliver into the box. Neither option is comfortable. It is a genuine tactical problem.
Argentina's wide players on the counterattack. When Argentina win the ball and transition, the pace and directness of their wide players in those moments is a real weapon against Spain's advanced fullbacks. Those moments of transition could be the most dangerous attacks of the entire match.
Messi versus Spain's defensive midfielder. Whoever Spain deploy to shield their defense and manage Messi in the spaces between the lines, that battle will be one of the most watched individual contests of the match. Can that player stay close enough to reduce Messi's influence without being drawn out of position and creating gaps elsewhere?
It is not about stopping Messi completely. Nobody does that. It's about limiting the damage, making him work harder, making him receive the ball in less dangerous positions. Even a partial success in that battle could be significant.
The goalkeeping battle. Both keepers have been excellent. In a tight final, the keeper who makes one more crucial save, one more decisive intervention, might be the reason their team lifts the trophy. If it goes to penalties, both keepers will have studied the opposition's penalty takers intensely.
Penalty shootouts are partly preparation and partly nerve. The keeper who controls their nerves and trusts their preparation, who saves one crucial penalty when it matters most, becomes a hero forever.
Let's go into statistics now, because there are some genuinely interesting numbers around this matchup.
Head-to-head history between Spain and Argentina at the World Cup. These two nations have met previously in World Cup competition, though their meetings at this stage, in a final, would be historic. The overall head-to-head record in recent years has been reasonably competitive. Argentina have won matches against Spain in the recent past, most notably in a friendly encounter several years ago, where Argentina were impressive. But in competitive tournament football at the highest level, Spain have demonstrated resilience.
The caveat I always give with head-to-head records is that they tell you what happened in the past with different players, different coaches, different circumstances. They set the historical context, but they do not predict the future.
Spain's tournament statistics in this World Cup. Spain have one of the highest average possession figures in the competition. They have maintained a possession advantage in most of their matches throughout the tournament. Their passing accuracy has been consistently high. They have conceded very few goals across the competition, which reflects both their defensive organization and their ability to control games through possession, limiting the opposition's opportunities.
Argentina's tournament statistics. Argentina have been one of the top scoring teams in the tournament. Their goal tally reflects both Messi's individual contributions and the collective attacking quality of the squad. They have also demonstrated defensive resilience in the knockout rounds, keeping clean sheets in tight matches when it has been required.
Expected goals is a statistic that has become increasingly important in football analysis. It measures the quality of chances created and conceded rather than just the final score. In this tournament, both Spain and Argentina have had high expected goals figures in attack, meaning they have created high-quality chances consistently. Spain have had particularly low expected goals against figures, meaning the chances they have conceded throughout the tournament have generally been of low quality.
FIFA rankings context. Both Spain and Argentina have consistently ranked among the top 5 or 6 national teams in the world according to FIFA's official ranking system. At the time of this tournament, these are two of the very best international teams on the planet by any objective measure.
World Cup history. Argentina have won the World Cup 3 times in 1978, 1986, and most recently in 2022. They are the current defending champions. Spain have won the World Cup once in 2010 in South Africa. That remains Spain's only World Cup title.
So for Spain, winning this final means winning a second World Cup title. For Argentina, winning means defending their title and claiming a fourth. Both outcomes would be historic in their own way.
For Spain, a second World Cup would represent the fulfillment of what many believe is a golden generation of Spanish football talent. For Argentina, defending the World Cup title would be one of the most remarkable achievements in international football history, given how difficult it is to win back-to-back in the modern era.
Brazil famously failed to defend their 1970 title, and only a handful of nations have come close to consecutive World Cup wins in the modern era. Defending is one of the hardest things to do in tournament football.
Let's talk about historical context more broadly, because this match sits within a very rich football history for both nations.
Spain's football history is fascinating. For decades, Spain were seen as underachievers, a nation with enormous talent that never quite delivered on the world stage. And then came the golden era, the 2008 and 2012 European Championship wins, and the 2010 World Cup triumph. That generation of Spanish football redefined what international success looked like. Tiki-taka became a global phenomenon. The way they played was influential across club football worldwide.
And this current Spain side is in many ways a continuation of that tradition, but also an evolution. They still value possession, they still build from the back, they still demand technical quality throughout the squad, but they are more direct, more varied, more willing to play with pace and purpose. They have learned from the perception that the tiki-taka era was sometimes too slow.
Argentina's history needs a whole podcast of its own. Two of the greatest players the game has ever seen have represented this nation on the biggest stage. The 1986 World Cup, when Diego Maradona delivered one of the most iconic individual tournament performances in football history, is still spoken of in reverent terms by anyone who witnessed it.
And now, with Messi, Argentina have their second once-in-a-generation player, and the question of whether Messi can match or even surpass Maradona's legacy has been a constant companion throughout his career.
The 2022 World Cup win in Qatar answered some of that question. Messi won the World Cup. He became a champion. For many, that settled the debate. But for others, winning 2 World Cups would elevate him to an entirely different plane.
And that's part of the emotional weight that surrounds this final, not just for Argentina and Spain, but for football as a sport. We might be watching the final chapter of Messi's World Cup story, or we might be watching him add another extraordinary line to that story.
All right, let us get into the mental and psychological side. Because in a match between teams of this quality, the psychological battle is just as important as the tactical one.
The pressure on Messi specifically is almost impossible to fully comprehend. Every World Cup he has been part of, every match, every moment has been watched through the lens of whether he is delivering on the ultimate stage. He has answered that completely. He is a world champion. But now, as the defending champion, as the player who has perhaps given everything to international football, what does this final mean to him?
I think the fascinating thing about Messi in recent years is that he seems to have arrived at a place of genuine peace. He plays with joy. He plays with freedom. And paradoxically, that relaxed mentality makes him more dangerous, not less, because he's not carrying the weight of unfinished business anymore. He's playing because he loves it.
Spain's young players in a World Cup final. This will be the first World Cup final for many members of this Spain squad. That is a significant psychological factor. The atmosphere, the occasion, the noise, the weight of expectation. Some players rise to that moment. Others feel the occasion too much and never quite perform the way they are capable of.
Spain's coaching staff will have worked hard on this, preparing players mentally, using the experience of those in the squad who have been in major finals before, ensuring that the focus on the day is on the process and not the result.
Argentina have experienced players who have been in World Cup finals, who have experienced penalties in World Cup knockouts, who know what it feels like when everything is on the line. That experience is valuable. You cannot buy it. You have to live through it.
The fan expectations are different for each team as well. Argentina's supporters, perhaps more than any other in world football, carry their passion publicly. The blue and white, the noise, the emotion. Being in a stadium full of Argentine fans during a high-pressure moment is an overwhelming experience, even from the outside.
Spain's fans are passionate and deeply knowledgeable about football. They appreciate the quality, they recognize good play, they get behind the team. But there is perhaps a little more of a calculated patience about the Spanish support. They trust the process.
In a final, having the crowd behind you can be worth something. If the match is played in a venue where one set of fans outnumbers the other, that home crowd energy could be a factor in tight moments.
Let us talk about possible game scenarios, because this is one of the most fascinating finals in recent memory, in terms of the different witties it could unfold.
Scenario 1. Spain dominate possession from the start, as they often do, and an early goal goes their way. If Spain score first, the dynamic of the match changes significantly. Argentina must come out, must open up, and suddenly the space on the counter that Spain can exploit multiplies. An early Spain goal is potentially the scenario Argentina fear most.
Scenario 2. Argentina scores first, perhaps from a moment of Messi magic, perhaps from a set piece, perhaps from a quick transition, and suddenly Spain, who prefer to control games from a position of comfort, must chase the match. Spain have shown they can win when behind, but it is not their preferred territory, and giving Argentina a goal to defend, with their defensive organization and experience, makes things very challenging.
Scenario 3. A tight, low-scoring, cagey first half where neither team takes a significant risk, both teams feeling each other out, controlling their shape, waiting for an opportunity. This could be the scenario if the occasion grips both teams early, if nerves play a role, if both coaching staffs prioritize defensive solidity in the opening period.
Scenario 4. Extra time. This is genuinely possible. Two excellent, evenly matched teams. A match where neither can land a decisive blow in 90 minutes. Extra time adds a whole new layer. Fatigue becomes a factor. Substitutions become even more critical. And the mental strength required to hold everything together for an additional 30 minutes after 90 minutes of the highest intensity is enormous.
And then the scenario that terrifies and thrills every football fan equally: penalties. A penalty shootout to decide the World Cup final. Everything comes down to 5 kicks each, or more if necessary. All that preparation, all that quality, all that tactical thinking reduced to a player, a goalkeeper, and 12 yards.
Argentina have been in penalty shootouts this World Cup. They know that feeling. They know how to manage it. Spain have also navigated high-pressure situations in this tournament. Both teams will have done significant preparation on penalties. Goalkeepers will have studied patterns. Penalty takers will have decided their spot and their approach.
Scenario 5. A high-scoring, open, entertaining match. This might be the least likely given the quality of both defenses and the tactical caution that finals often produce, but it's not impossible. If the match opens up early, if both teams are chasing goals, if individual quality asserts itself in attack, you could see something extraordinary.
I actually think the most likely scenario is a tight, tense match, decided by one goal or by extra time. That's my gut feeling. But the beautiful thing about football is that gut feelings are often spectacularly wrong.
The number of times I have been absolutely certain about a result and watched the opposite happen is genuinely humbling.
All right, time for predictions. And I want us both to be really honest here, not to say what sounds impressive, but to actually give our genuine thoughts.
Ladies first.
Thank you. Okay, my prediction. I think this will be one of the great World Cup finals. I think Spain will start well, they will have more of the ball, and there will be a period in the first half where they look in control. But I think Argentina will score. I think there will be a moment, and I think it will involve Messi where Argentina get a goal that gives them something to defend.
And then?
And then Spain will equalize because they have shown throughout this tournament that they do not panic, that they keep working, that they find a way. I think it goes to 1-1 after 90 minutes, extra time. And in extra time, I think Spain's greater depth, their fresher legs from the bench, their ability to sustain their pressing gives them the edge. I think Spain win this. My scoreline is 2-1 in extra time. Spain lift the World Cup.
Right. My prediction. This has kept me awake, genuinely, because I keep going back and forth. Here is where I land. I think Spain's midfield quality is the decisive factor. I think Argentina will be heroic. I think Messi will produce moments that take your breath away. But I think Spain's collective quality over 90 or 120 minutes wins out.
Same scoreline?
Similar, but slightly different. I think it could end 1-1 after extra time. And if it goes to penalties, I genuinely have no confidence in predicting that. A penalty shootout is close to 50-50, regardless of what the analysis says. But if I have to call it, I will say Spain on penalties, because I believe in their goalkeeper making one crucial save.
So both of us are going with Spain, but neither of us are completely confident.
Which tells you everything about how close this match is going to be. And honestly, if Argentina win it, if Messi gets another World Cup winner's medal, I will not be the least bit surprised, and I do not think anyone should be.
That is the sign of a genuinely great final. You can make a case for either team winning, and both cases are legitimate.
Let us give our listeners some language they can actually use when talking about this match, because that is what Mr. English Podcast is all about, helping you speak English naturally and confidently.
When talking about the final before it happens, you can say, I think this will be incredibly close because both teams have world-class players. Or, my prediction is that Spain will win it in extra time because of their midfield quality. Or, I have a feeling Messi will produce something special.
During the match, or watching it with friends, you can say, what a tackle, that was crucial. They are sitting deep and waiting to counter. Spain a dominating possession here, Argentina must be careful. That was a real chance, the goalkeeper was outstanding. I cannot see how they're going to break this defense down.
After the match, you can say, that was one of the best finals I have ever seen. I did not expect it to go that way. What a performance from that player, absolutely world class. The better team won on the day, no arguments. Or, I genuinely did not see that result coming.
And if it goes to penalties, I cannot breathe, I cannot watch. These penalties are going to be the longest few minutes of my life. The goalkeeper is a hero. How on earth did he save that? You cannot script this.
All completely natural, all completely real. Things you will hear fans saying everywhere football is being discussed.
And that's the point. The World Cup is one of the greatest conversation-starting events in the world. It connects people. It gives complete strangers something to talk about passionately. And being able to have that conversation in English opens up a whole new world of connection.
Okay, let us bring this home. Final thoughts from both of us before we close.
Final thought from me. Whatever happens in this match, I think we are about to witness something historic. If Spain win, they complete the journey of a generation that was being talked about as potentially great and deliver the ultimate proof. If Argentina win, they become the first team in decades to defend the World Cup, and Messi adds another chapter to a story that is already beyond anything we could have imagined.
My final thought. I love the World Cup because it reminds you of what sport is really about. It's not about money, not about contracts, not about tactics on a whiteboard. It's about passion, about national pride, about the joy of a child watching their country compete on the world stage and feeling everything. This final has all of that. These two teams, these two nations deserve a final like this, and we're lucky to be watching it.
Beautifully said. All right, everyone. That's our full preview of Spain versus Argentina 2026 FIFA World Cup final. We hope you enjoyed it, we hope you learned something, and we hope you feel ready to have this conversation with everyone around you in English, with joy and without hesitation.
Before you go, we have a few things we'd love to hear from you in the comments right now.
First, what is your score prediction for Spain versus Argentina? Tell us exactly. 2-1, 1-0, 4-3, penalties, whatever you think. We want to know.
Second, give us your preferred starting 11 for either Spain or Argentina. Pick your ideal lineup and explain your choices.
Third, who is your prediction for player of the match? Who do you think will be the difference maker on the night?
And fourth, what do you think about the tactics? Do you think Argentina should press Spain high or sit deep and counter? Do you think Spain should slow the game down or try to be direct and quick?
Write all of it in the comments. Practice your English as you write. Read what other listeners think. This is how you grow. This is real, living, engaged English in action.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe to Mr. English Podcast right now so you never miss what we put out next. Every episode is made with real care, real conversation, and real commitment to helping you speak English better.
And please share this episode with one person, just one friend, one family member, one colleague who loves football or is learning English, because sharing is how this community grows, and this community is something genuinely special.
From all of us at Mr. English Podcast, thank you so much for being here. This is what it's all about. Real conversations, real topics, real English, real people.
May the best team win. May the match be worthy of the occasion. And may every single one of you listening right now feel confident enough to talk about it with everyone you know in English, with joy and without hesitation.
See you in the next episode. Until then, enjoy every second of this final.
And remember, whatever happens out on that pitch, you're part of this conversation. And your voice in English belongs here just as much as anyone else's.
Take care, everyone. Goodbye.
Goodbye.